January is in the books, and we are now on the chapter of February in terms of my weight loss journey. Thank you all so much for joining me. I had an extraordinarily successful January. I went from 326 pounds to 312 pounds. That's 14 pounds in 31 days. I'm happy with those results, but I'm not content with those results. I need to keep this momentum going. It's not that this last month was unsuccessful, it was very successful. But I need to compound those gains, or should I say, compound those losses, and keep this weight loss journey consistent and going forward. Because over the course of this journey, I've learned that the real progress doesn't come from these fluctuations or spikes in motivation. It doesn't come from these intensely dramatic resets. It comes from clarity, it comes from structure, and it comes from showing up even when no one is watching. And that's what February represents for me. For this month, my focus is precise, and I would go as far as to say non negotiable. I want to hit 15,000 steps a day. I've mentioned in a previous video how, in order to maintain this momentum, I'm going to have to increase my work output, my exercise output, because as I lose weight, I'm not going to be burning as much calories. I'll burn more at 326, for instance, than I will at 250 or than I will at 180. So, in order to keep the momentum going, I need to slightly increase my output. Now, this past month, I actually only averaged around 8,500 steps per day for the month, and I had set the goal for 10,000. So I didn't even hit my goal, and yet I still lost 14 pounds. Imagine if I set 15,000 steps per day as my goal, and I actually achieve that goal. Weight loss, it's not just about intensity for a week, it's about consistency over time. It's about developing systems that you can live with. It's about habits that compound quietly over time. And so in this video, I want to walk you exactly through how I'm kind of structuring this next phase of my journey, why these changes matter, and why February I feel like feels like a turning point as opposed to a restart. If you're working toward a change of your own, whether it be weight loss or, something else, I think you'll find something important in this video that's worth staying for and worth watching. In every video, I try to provide some insights that I've learned from my eclectic range of experiences. I try to be relatable insofar as I maintain my authenticity. I will never sacrifice my authenticity just to be relatable. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I've had a little bit of a shift in the channel recently. As you know, I have about 90 plus videos on my channel in the bipolar breakdown playlist where I talk about my battles with bipolar disorder. And that's not coming to an end just because of the fact that I'm now diligently hyper-focused on my weight loss. It just means that I'm moving the channel in a little bit of a new direction. And as I move in that new direction, I'll still be uploading about bipolar disorder here and there, especially as you all suggest ideas. Not that I'm running out of ideas, I still have quite a bit, but I don't have as many as I once did, because when you have 90 plus videos on one topic, you're going to start to struggle to really create and devise new ideas to still remain innovative and captivate your audience. And that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that I'm resonating. I want to make sure that I'm providing insight. I want to make sure that you find this video entertaining to the greatest extent possible. I know we talk about taboo topics here, deep topics, and I don't want you to feel like I'm getting away from talking about bipolar disorder just because I'm now focused on weight loss. It's just that this is the current dynamic of my life. Weight loss is on the perimeter of my life right now, and in order to move beyond that, I need to get in shape. So in the long run, I've done some calculations in terms of how much weight I need to lose in X amount of time. And I feel like a reasonable goal would be getting to 165 by March of 2027. And the reason I set that specific goal of 165 is because, well, partially the BMI scale, but in greater part actually because of the fact that I've been at 165 before. I've been at 175 before. I've been at 180. I've been at 195. I've been at 220. I've been at 250. I've been at 284. I've been at 334. I've been at 354, my peak. And the weight I felt the most comfortable at was in that 165 to 180 range. And I figured, why not go with 165, because 165 is closer to my BMI and it would be the healthier end of that spectrum, I believe. So, in order to get there, I'm going to continue with my daily step routine, which for this month, at least for this month, is going to consist of me averaging 15,000 steps per day. There will be days where I don't hit that 15,000, but I'll make up for that by doing additional steps the following or a different day. And so, insofar as I'm maintaining an average, that's all that matters to me. And just think about, in terms of productivity and progress, how significant an improvement it would be if I went from averaging 8,500 steps per day in January, losing 14 pounds, and going to 15,000 step daily average in February. Who knows how much more I could lose? And I understand the fears of losing weight too quickly. I know that it's an important thing to consider. Absolutely. I'm not denying that losing weight too fast is unhealthy. It increases your risks of putting the weight back on. It increases the probability of you developing excessive amounts of loose skin. And so I'm cognizant of losing weight too fast and the consequences that arise as a result of that. However, I am morbidly obese, and losing like 1 pound a week would not be acceptable for me. 1 pound a week, 52 pounds a year. I mean, for some people, that might be what's in their best interest. But for me, as a morbidly obese person, I feel like the longer I'm at this current weight, the higher my risk of contracting deadly preventable diseases. The longer I'll go with reduced self esteem, and the more it will impact my ability to have and maintain my mental clarity and assiduously focus on the goals I've outlined for myself, of which there are many. Because remember, this isn't just about weight loss for the purpose of, looking good, or as Adrian Bryant would say, wanting to look good naked. I always found that guy humorous, but his videos are extremely helpful. Check them out if you haven't seen them. But also, it's about developing resilience. It's about summoning the willpower to achieve things. It's about crafting a system that would allow me to experience compounding success in other areas of my life. And so, in addition to the weight loss, for instance, I'm trying to incorporate reading into my schedule. Right now, I just started 1L by Scott Turow. I'm also reading The Guide to Going Viral. I'm only about 50 pages or so into that. I recently finished Atomic Habits by James Clear. And so I'm not doing this weight loss journey, neglecting other things as a result of this journey. I'm still tasking myself with other things. It's a top priority of mine without question. But I don't want to acquiesce from the other important components of my life. And so I feel like incorporating reading into my daily routine, doing my first 2,500 steps of the day, and then reading for 20 minutes, doing my next 5,000 steps, reading for 30 minutes, reading an hour before I go to bed. I feel like this sort of combination of things will compound. And over time, as James Clear iterated in his book Atomic Habits, if you improve by 1% in something every single day, just 1%, I'm not talking 10% or 100%. You don't need unrealistic improvement like that, but 1% improvement each day. In 1 year's time, you will be 37 times better at the end of the year than you were when you started that thing by improving 1% each day. And the crazy thing about that, imagine being 37 times better at something, being in a 37 times better position than where you are now with whatever it is you may be focusing your attention on. That is a significant feat. It's a worthwhile goal to pursue, and it will just make you an immensely more productive person, and productivity is integral to success in this chaotic, increasingly interconnected, and interdependent world. And so, without question, my goal is to improve my systems as it relates to weight loss that will allow me to not just lose the weight, but allow me to keep the pounds off, and also do other important things like incorporate reading so that I'm stimulating the mind, which I'm also doing through exercise, by the way. But so I'm stimulating the mind from a different approach. And so I just want to say to anyone out there who feels like they haven't started this year strong, or that they've kind of deviated away from the goals that they've enumerated for themselves as far as New Year's goals, you don't gotta wait till 2027 to fix things and change course. You don't gotta wait till 2027 to start moving in the right direction. You don't gotta wait till 2027 to start making a difference in your life, because 1% improvement every single day will make you 37 times better at that thing in a year's time. February 1st of 2027, if you're watching this video on February 1st, 2026, you'd be 37 times better at what it is that you are doing. So don't give up, never surrender hope. And for those who are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. On a lot of my videos, I've noticed that I get significant amounts of watch time from new viewers to the channel, and the retention rates are good in terms of how long they're watching the videos, but I'd really appreciate it if y'all would subscribe and check out some of my other content as well. The benefit for you is I make videos talking about mental health. I have a large library of reaction videos to stand-up comedy on my channel. I have content from experiences in high school and college. And right now I'm just focused on my weight loss journey, in addition to some of those other things, like making my content about bipolar disorder and how I struggle with that condition. But I feel like overall that my channel is really an interesting archive of the development of myself, because I've been posting to this channel for so long. I started it in March of 2020 amidst the COVID pandemic and lockdowns and being sent home from school and simply needing something to do. And seeing the evolution of my channel over time has been so transformative for my life, and making these videos is so meaningful to me. It gives me a greater sense of purpose, and I'll always put as much value as possible that I can, whatever's within my power to do, in each and every single video. And if you have any suggestions for content, I'm always open ears to hearing what you have to say, and I will consider your perspective. And I've gone with viewer ideas, suggestions, and videos plenty of times in the past, and they're oftentimes the best videos on the channel. So I'd greatly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. And to my regular viewers who tune in on and off and here and there, but consistently, I appreciate y'all. It means the world to me that you're still here watching, and it means the world to me that you derive some form of benefit from this content. It's what motivates me to keep on doing it. And insofar as we're building this community up together, I feel like the progress that we can make is truly ad infinitum. We're going to keep going up and up on a positive trajectory, and who knows where this journey will lead. Thank you all so much for watching. Love, light, and tranquility to all.